Hello everyone, it has been a long while and I finally have the time to sit down and do a voiceover again. So, 1 year ago, I made a resolution to play through my Steam wishlist. I will buy and play these games and make a series of videos about. Long story short, I have played some games, added some, and left some games behind during this first year because I planned this project to go on for a few years. So the project is still incomplete at this point. Before that, I just want to talk about my recent uploads. For the recent videos, I made some shorts and some videos that are quite different from what I promised to put out, namely Once Human and Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation. Let's call it DOA for short. Okay. The thing about Once Human is I played the game with my friends and I realized that I could play this game using a pistol again. So I tried to make another pistol challenge on this game. However, Once Human is kind of like a live service game. The game keeps on adding new content and things keep changing in the game. So I think I will need to keep playing this game for quite a while. Assume that I will continue to play this game for another 3 more months from after this video has been released. So there will be some more videos about this game in the near future. Moving on to DOA. So about DOA, which is a free to play gacha game, I have been playing that game for quite a while now, and there was that one video where it was just a creative impulse that I took the opportunity to make a video in such a short time period, and it got a lot more views compared to my usual videos, which first of all, thanks for the viewers who watch it and appreciated the video. And I might say that I will make another video like that should the chance arise. However, please don't take this too seriously. I have to wait for the inspiration to hit me and the time only I can actually do it. So yes, that's it. With those out of the way, I could finally update my progress on this project for 100+ games. Initially, I plan to release a video for every game I played, but given the state of things, we are here now. So instead of making separate videos, I just compile all of my thoughts into one video. So right off the bat, I played Euro Truck Simulator 2 and Touhou Lunar Nights after the video was announced. So Euro Truck Simulator 2 was actually quite a fun game for me because I used that game as an excuse to watch anime as well. You know that Steam could help you overlay a little window, and then I just used the Steam overlay to watch anime while I was driving, which is not a safety thing to do in real life. So please don't do this in real life. But I think Euro Truck Simulator 2 is actually really fun. The reason I played Touhou Lunar Nights was because my friend really wanted me to try some skill-based roguelike games. I find this game kind of interesting, so I gave it a shot, and it was actually quite fun to play something like a roguelike Metroidvania 2D side-scroller game. It's quite fun. And moving on, we have I think around this time I played the Coffin of Andy and Leyley or Leyley. Around this time, it's the new year to 2024, and I remember playing this game just right after I went back from the countdown event at another city, and then I just sat down, played this game until dawn, and I got sick the following day. So the Coffin of Andy of Leyley or Lily, depending on how you want to call it, is the story was short. While I was playing the game, it only had two. I think there's only 2 chapters released for the game at that moment, and it's famous for one thing. Okay, it's famous for that scene, that particular scene in the game that happens in chapter 2. So if you're into that, I don't judge, but if you want a kind of like a thriller story, I think this game is for you. And after that, I got sick. While I was recovering from my illness, I played Superliminal and completed everything and 100% achieved Superliminal, including the 30-minute speedrun segment. It is actually quite fun to play Superliminal, where it challenges my mind to think about solutions to questions. And when it comes to speed running, it usually comes down to just refining my steps over and over again until I manage to complete the game in 29 minutes 58 seconds, if I recall correctly, which there's a video about it. There's the raw unedited video about it. I still haven't submitted the video to speedrun.com. I will do it maybe in the future. And after I recover from my illness, I completed Superliminal. Then the next game in the line will be It Takes Two, where I asked a friend of mine and I went over to his house to play It Takes Two. It took us 12 hours to complete the game any percent, so the story is quite short. It's good for 2 people to play during a weekend. And the only downside to it is you have to share your screen. Like the split screen exists whether the both of you play on the same computer with the split screen, or each of you play on your separate computers, because the split screen is still there. The split screen remains no matter what you do, is because sometimes you just really need to look at the split screen to look at what your friend is doing, and you can both of you can communicate better to beat the level. So I appreciate that. Setting. And moving on, we have Gordy and the Monster Moon, which is a game released last Halloween. I kind of picked up this game because it kind of reminds me of Shotgun Legend. The pixelated art form and top-down exploration really matches the games like Shotgun Legend and the original Legend of Zelda. So it is actually just a normal exploration game where you just need to find a way to go around the map and escape the map, I think. So that's about the story. Following that, I played a fat game called Palworld, which is kind of famous for getting into lawsuits, and recently they have lost the lawsuit, I think. So Palworld's days are kind of limited, but I played the game earlier this year and returned playing this game like I think 2 weeks ago while recording this video. And I could say Palworld really changed a lot from, of course Palworld did improve a lot from when it initially launched, and I'm quite grateful for that. And it's actually quite a fun game to play with your friends if you have the time and friends. So with that out the way, there will be next up will be Love Choice and Knowledge or No Lady. So both of these games are visual novel type of games where you have to click and choose the right choice to unlock special endings. However, the difference between these two games is Love Choice is the usual visual novel style game where your visuals are hand-drawn, images, animations, those sort of things that make up a usual visual novel. Where Knowledge or No Lady falls into the trope of I think it's called a what do you call those visual novels, but they put the MP4 instead of a visual novel. What that means is you play this game like a movie, and then you watch this movie, and then when it reaches a certain point, you have to make a choice, or sometimes QTE, and then you just see the result, like how you do it in a visual novel. And this game is good because these kinds of games are good because they actually provide a roadmap for you. Like you know that you have a decision tree in when you play a visual novel, right? And then what you do is, in these types of games, you can actually see the decision tree, and it will tell you that which part you haven't unlocked. So you could go back and just trial and error to see which route is best suited for your needs. Because in this game, it's actually quite the same compared to a visual novel, where you could actually raise your affinity with a certain character to a certain degree, or you could aim for the harem ending or the no bitches ending. All right, so it is quite a fun game to play as well. And Knowledge or No Lady, it's the reason I knew this game was I went to visit my friends, and we kind of watch a live streamer playing. We watch live streamers playing this game and thought it was cool to play this game, so I just bought it on a whim and completed the game within a few days because I was free at that time. So yeah, this game was bought on impulse, but it was a great choice nonetheless. Moving on, we have Geometry Dash and Hopping Up for It, which is the kind of games that are like you have to play the game long enough to know when to do what. So it is kind of like Jump King and what else? Cuphead, Metal Slug, something like that. You have to kind of remember what comes next and what you have to do in those situations. So for these two games, if you have a short patience like me, Hopping Up for It or Geometry Dash, I just play it for a while and then just shelve it. I don't want to think about these two games anymore, and that's it. And Q Remastered, that will be another game that is originated from Q, which is I think it's a mobile game that focuses on puzzle solving, where the Remastered in Q Remastered is actually the PC port of Q, and then they added a lot of question packs to the game as well, so you could play as. It basically means you have more puzzles to play, and if you actually got stuck, you could go online to look for solutions if that's your thing. And if you are the type to prefer solving questions on your own, then by all means just play this game and just play by yourself and try to figure out the solutions for the puzzles. And not to mention, I also got bored of this game, so I shelved this game as well. And then at this point, I think I'm in my summer break. So for summer break, I went to another island away from where I usually live and study to work for a summer part-time job. And usually when the time I have to play games isn't much, so for that I played Cookie Clicker, Word Factory, and the Cats Hidden Around in Somewhere series. So let's talk about Word Factory first, because that's the first game I think that's the first game I actually played. So Word Factory is a game where you have to build letters, numbers, symbols, and try to combine those three into a specified output in order to pass a level. And the cool thing about this game is once you have a formula of building a certain character, because let's take for example, if you want to build a letter B, you have to do something like this, and then you could actually save this pattern, and then when you want to create another letter B in the future, you just directly use the preset that you have saved earlier, and that saves a lot of time and it's actually kind of cool. So I don't have to keep on redoing the same steps just to create a letter, and it saves out quite a lot of space on the canvas as well, because the space is quite limited if you want to create a longer string of characters, and having these presets really help a lot. And Word Factory, they also have a recipe book which they don't show you how to create a letter, but it is kind of like a Pokédex. You will add the recipes, which is the presets, to create a certain letter into the Pokédex, into the recipe book, once you discover the way to do that. So if you don't know how to do that, you could just look up online. That's how I play games essentially. If I don't know something, I'll just look up online, which is a controversial way to play games modernly, but I leave that decision up to you. Okay? And next would be Cookie Clicker, which I'm still playing recently. It is quite a time-consuming game, where the main game loop is to just find a method to earn more cookies, and then get upgrades, and then inherit your stats to the next round, which is called Ascent, and then just rinse and repeat the process. To play this game, it is a early stage clicking game, mid stage idle game, and a late stage clicking game. Click until you completed all the achievements, if that's what you want, because this game has like 750 achievements for you to collect. So yeah, if you're into achievements, I think this game is for you as well. So let's move on to the Cats Hidden in Somewhere series. This game is kind of straightforward. Basically, you just buy the game, open the game, and click 100 cats in the map, and call it a day. Okay, so Cats Hidden, the difference between Cats Hidden around the world compared to Cats Hidden in Italy, Bali, China, Georgia, Maple Hollow, and Paris Extra is just the achievements allocation. Okay, so let's take Italy vs around the world, for example. So in Cats Hidden in Italy, every cat that you click is one achievement, and there will be one special thing you need to do to get the final achievement. How about around the world? Imagine that around the world is like they have a lot of cities, and for every city you complete, they only give you one achievement. So you could notice that for the achievement count for around the world versus, like, let's say Italy, and you'll notice that the achievement count is way too different. Italy has like 100 something, while around the world only has 20 something. That's because around the world counts by map completion, not by how many cats or dogs you click. And that will mark the end of my summer holiday, I guess, by the time I completed the Word Factory and Cat Hidden series. And by the time I got back to school, I think I played Senran Kagura Burst Renewal, and it is a beat 'em up game where you play as sexy high school girls. I don't know what to think about that, but I think I wanted to play this game is because I wanted to feel the aesthetic of this kind of game. It's like Senran Kagura and Hyperdimension. These kind of games, they were made in that type of era where girls are very attractive looking. It is a beat 'em up. Like I said, it is a beat 'em up, stage by stage style type of game, where there is actually a story in the game, but the story doesn't matter too much, I guess. And I would say the battle mechanic is quite smooth because there's the parry technique. Overall, I think this game is done very well. compared to the older Senran Kagura games, I guess. That's why, and this is the remastered version, so it is Senran Kagura Burst Renewal instead of the original Senran Kagura, where fans praise this game to be very well polished. And yes, I think I enjoyed this game very much. And when we talk about fighting games, I think I could take some time to talk about Troublemaker, which is quite not well compared to Senran Kagura or some other beat 'em up style games that I've played before, because this game is kind of jank and the story is just fight. I mean, in Troublemaker, there is a scene that there was a moment in school where you could have the open world exploration, where you walk around the school and explore something, but that quickly disappeared in the late game, because in the late game it was like fight after fight after fight. And the one thing that really gets on my nerves is there was this boss, okay, where if I'm gonna talk about this, I need to talk about Yakuza 0 as well. If you played Yakuza 0, you definitely know that there's that one boss that will appear 5 times throughout the game. In Troublemaker, this kind of thing also happens as well. And the problem with that is, in Troublemaker's case, the boss is almost the same every 4 times he appeared, and the last 2 times he appeared back to back, so we have to fight him 2 times, which I don't get why I should do that, and why I don't think Yakuza 0's boss that appears 5 times is a trouble, because every time he appears, there's something new about him. Like either his health got a little bit more, or he has a different moveset, or he will trigger a different type of cutscene during the fight. So I think the difference in handling a repetitive boss really changes how the user experiences the game. And I heard that the folks that made Troublemaker, they are making Troublemaker 2. So I hope that they actually made this game a little bit better, because aside from the repetitive boss thing, there's also another problem with the battle mechanics, which is not so crisp clean. Sometimes a parry doesn't count as a parry, which is quite annoying. And in late stage Troublemaker, okay, the controls for Troublemaker is imagine this. Okay, so left click is light attack, right click heavy attack, and then there's a shift button for me to evade. And then what happens in the late game is left mouse button becomes heavy attack and right mouse button becomes evade. Why? Because the light attack does nothing, as the enemy constantly blocks, and even if he or she doesn't block, there is literally no damage done to them. So I would rather just heavy. I remember my combo was 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 heavy attacks followed by a evade, or 3 heavy attacks and a evade. So yes, it quickly got monotonous and not that fun. So that will be Troublemaker. Moving on, we have the long drive. The long drive is where you have your thirst, hunger, health, and then your toiletry needs, and to satisfy all of those, you have to hit the road. And gather resources. The really cool thing about this game is everything you do, there's only one long road on the map, and scattered across this map are abandoned places like garage, convenience stores. I think that's a convenience store, and then a storehouse, and then some rundown church, I guess. Where these facilities, you could just make a detour and enter the buildings to find the resources that you want, and just find a way to survive. And another selling point for this game is the insane, I think it's insane customizability to your vehicle, where you could just find spray cans all over the map, and you could repaint your car. Or if you don't like the tire on your car, you could just swap it with some truck tires or something and make your car look really goofy. And there's a lot of toilets on the map. I don't know why, but there's a lot of toilets. Yeah. And this game, you could actually drink petrol and eat your own shit. So I think it's a good game. You should play it. And after those, I think that will be moving on to the multiplayer section, where I think 2 months ago, I got in touch with my friends, where they wanted me to play some games together. We played some games together that will be the following games. Okay. Number 1, Wall Selection. Wall Selection is a free-to-play RTS game, where it kind of feels like Age of Empires, and it is free. But we played the survival mode of Wall Selection, so I have to pay a little bit of money to unlock this feature. I would say playing in survival mode is actually quite easier than PvP, because the only thing you have to get better at is how to build your things faster. It is not a race between you and the opponent to build things, because in survival mode, enemies come periodically, meaning that the only opponent that stands between your demise or victory is yourself. You have to build faster. In the end, I also put this game aside, because I just don't want to play this game for losing too much in survival mode. Okay, I'm a slow builder. All right, I have to own up to it and take the L. And next will be Raft. Raft is a world exploration survival game, where I can get together with my friends to board a raft, to spawn on a raft and collect resources to survive. And it was fun, because we kind of split up the chores between, some will gather resources, some will gather food, and we have a captain, and every day we have to wait for the captain to get online so we could play together. And we have completed the whole game, I think, within 2 weeks. So I think that is an achievement in itself, and it is quite fun. So if you have friends, I think 3 to 4 people will be quite a sweet spot. We completed the game with 6 people, but I think if you have 3 to 4 people, that will be also quite sufficient to play the game and enjoy it as well. Not too grindy, because you could split the work, and you can split the work and advance the game at a higher pace, at a faster pace. So definitely give Raft a try. And then next will be Party Animals, some battle royale type of game, where you get together and just beat each other up. And it is a highly skill-based game, and it is PvP after PvP after PvP, except there is a kart racing mode. And yeah, so if you like to play the games of, like, I think Fall Guys or some battle royale games, I think this game is for you. So aside from playing all of the paid games, I have been also playing some free-to-play games. That will be the 2 games that I mentioned earlier, namely Once Human and Dead or Alive: Extreme Venus Vacation. And recently I have downloaded another 2 more games that is Genshin Impact and Zenless Zone Zero. I wanted to give these 2 games another try is because why did I say another? It's because I've been playing Genshin for since I've entered university until now. Until now, I only pick it back up recently to just get more Primo Gems. I'm not really that invested in the Genshin story, the Genshin universe. I'm just here for the Primo Gems. Let me be straight. And Zenless Zone Zero is I just want to try another new MiHoYo game. And on another note, there's another MMORPG I've started playing recently that is called Toram Online. My friend got me into playing this game, so it is just what I expected of a MMORPG. That is a long storyline, a complex build system, and a very big marketplace, and a lot of veterans in the game, which what I mean by veteran is a lot of highly skilled players, highly leveled players in the game, and just piggyback on them essentially to get better gear in this game. And one more game that will be the Initial D Street Stage PSP game, where I just play as a racing car to beat racers on the street, Initial D style, which is another driving game that I've been playing recently. And the reason I picked up Toram Online and Initial D is because both of these games I could play it on the go, on the fly. They both have a mobile version of the game, so I could play it wherever I go, whenever I wanted. And I quite appreciate the flexibility of these 2 games provided me. And you could argue that why I don't play Genshin or Zenless Zone Zero on my phone. It's because I don't want to play these kind of heavy loaded games on my phone and then have my phone feel like an induction stove. Alright, Toram Online doesn't put too much pressure on my phone, similar to Initial D, so I prefer playing these 2 games rather than Genshin and Zenless Zone. And that quite sums up the games that I've played throughout this year. What I might do in the following year is I've heard that Yakuza series are included in the Xbox Game Pass. So if I wanted to take a huge chunk of my time to clear the Yakuza series, I think I might need to subscribe to the Xbox Game Pass, and I will need to take time to complete Nier Replicant and Monster Hunter World's Iceborne, which I bought this year and still haven't touched them. So with that being said, that will be my update status on this project for 100+ games. I hope I could continue to play games and talk more about games in the future, because I like playing games and I just want to share how much I like to play games with people on the internet. So yeah, that's for it for now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.